Hi Josh, this is your new sewing machine, and it's set up for sewing leather. It's got a leather needle in it right now, and I put a roller foot on it, which helps the leather to slide under more smoothly. And we're going to go over how to work the machine, how to thread it up, and how to wind bobbins. And don't be offended, but I'm going to pretend like you know absolutely nothing about sewing machines. Your lower thread is down here in the bobbin case, right there. This is the bobbin case, and you can use this little latch to pull it in and out of its little locator hole. So you just pull the latch out and lift it out. And as long as you're holding the latch, the bobbin doesn't drop out. This is the bobbin. Like I said, it holds your lower thread. I'm going to take off the excess. No reason to wind over old thread. Okay, to wind the bobbin, this is the spool pin for the bobbin winder. Put the spool on the spool pin, and you go between the discs of this spring-loaded bobbin winder tensioner. Put the thread through one of the little holes in the side of the bobbin. It doesn't matter at all which one. And hold it in place with your finger and put several wraps on the bobbin to hold the thread in place while the bobbin winds. Now, with the thread going over the top from the front towards the back, slide the bobbin on the bobbin winder and turn the rubber tire until the little alignment pin goes into the little slot on the bobbin. Press the bobbin winder towards the hand wheel until this finger here clicks down into the bobbin. And as the bobbin winds, it's going to lift this finger more and more and more and more as it fills with thread. And when it's finally full, it's going to pop loose so it stops winding. It doesn't make a big snarly mess. So push the rubber tire until it makes contact with the hand wheel. And then declutch the machine by turning this chrome knob in the center of the hand wheel towards you, a quarter to a half turn until you feel it hit its stop. Now the hand wheel can spin and wind the bobbin without making the rest of the machine cycle, which is not necessarily a bad thing anyway. You can wind the bobbin while you're sewing, but this is your foot control, and this is the distribution block for the electricity. It has two outlets. One is marked light, the other is marked motor. If you plug the light into the motor socket, it's only going to go on and off when you press the foot pedal. If you put the motor plug in the light socket, the motor is immediately going to run full speed, and it's going to keep running full speed until you unplug it. So make sure that you get the motor cord into the motor hole and the light cord into the light hole. And then plug into electricity. And when you're not using your machine, always unplug, because foot controls can overheat. If something gets bumped up against it and holds it down a little bit, it'll get hot and it could start a fire. So always unplug your machine when you're not using it. Okay, we've got the thread on the bobbin on the bobbin winder. We're pressed down against the hand wheel, and my thread slipped out of the bobbin tensioner. You're declutched. Now you just give a little bit of gas and That's just an adjustment of how close to the hand wheel the rubber bobbin is. I mean rubber bobbin winders are. Okay, that's plenty of thread for our demonstration. You can fill it all the way up if you want till it clicks off. Or if you're just doing a small project and don't expect to use that thread again, yeah, just wind as much as you want. So, click the finger to release the bobbin winder. Reclutch your machine by tightening the chrome knob. Slip your bobbin off of the bobbin winder. And with the thread coming off the top of the bobbin in this direction, you're going to drop it into the bobbin case. And there's a little slanted slot on the side here. Go up into that slot and up under this flat leaf spring, which is your lower tension. If you ever need to change bobbin tension, talk to me and we'll go over it. So now, I'm going to do that one more time. I know you're smart, but I would have to see it a couple of times if it were me. So, the thread coming off the top in this direction, drop it into the bobbin case, go into the slot, up under the leaf spring until you feel it click into place. And then holding the latch, slip it onto the pin in the center of the bobbin race here. And you can see this little slot on the top, this little finger here on the top goes into there. That's positioning finger. There. Make sure it's in all the way, snug, so it's not going to fall out. And it kind of clicks into place when it goes. So that's it. That's the bobbin. To thread the machine, put the spool on the spool pin. And from the spool pin, go into this notch on the top of the faceplate. Down between the discs of the tension assembly. All the way around until you can go behind this big thread guide here. Then go back down and catch this little thin check spring. That's what takes up the tension on each stitch. Between stitches, so your thread's not hanging loose in there. You need a little bit of slack to go from the check spring through the take-up lever from the back towards the front of the machine. Now when you pull on it, you'll see the check spring go up and down. You know you got it right. I'm going to pull a little more. From the take-up lever, you go down to this thread guide on the faceplate. This thread guide here on the needle clamp. Yeah, there. I'm going to do that again. Just from that thread guide into this thread guide down here, and then through the eye of the needle, this direction. So that's your machine threaded. We're going from the spool into the notch, down between the discs of the tension assembly, all the way around till you can go over the top of this big thread guide, down to catch the check spring, up through the take-up lever, down through the two thread guides, and through the eye of the needle in that direction. To bring up your lower thread, hold your needle thread loosely and turn the hand wheel towards you one full revolution. And the needle will take the thread down where the hook will pick it up, wrap it around the bobbin, and bring up your lower thread. There's your lower thread. Now we want the needle thread to go through the hole in this, in your roller foot. Most, the regular presser foot has a little slot, so you can just slide your thread into there. between the toes of the presser foot. But this one doesn't have that slot, so you have to poke it through somehow. And then pick it up on the bottom and pull both of the threads through towards the back of the machine. There we go. So your needle thread is going through the hole in the presser foot. Your lower thread is coming up to the hole in the needle plate and going towards the back. So we're threaded, bobbin is wound. Usually for leather, you want the longest stitch possible because it makes it stronger. There's more meat in between the stitches. I did a close one here as well. You may or may not be able to see that, but these are long stitches, these are short stitches. You can see how that perforation is almost like a tear line. So your longer stitches make it stronger, but you know, mess with it, see what works best for you. This is 4 layers of this weight of leather. I don't know what that weight is called, but so stitch length. The center line here is where the fabric doesn't go forward or backward. The machine has feed dogs down here that move the fabric, and at the center line position, the feed dogs just don't move anything. So your thread goes up and down and makes a big clump of thread under the needle plate and snarls up your project, and you have to stop, cut it out, and it's a pain in the ass. That being said, just don't sew with it right in the middle. Going down from that line, your stitches get longer and longer and longer and longer and longer till your longest stitches are at the bottom. From the center line going up, your stitches get longer and longer and longer, except in reverse, and your longest stitches are all the way at the top. If you plan on sewing anything where you're going to be doing back stitches, and you may want to sew some stuff on regular fabric using your regular presser foot. But if you wanted to have your stitches be the same length in reverse and in forward, or if you just want to lock the position so you can always easily come back to, say, 15 stitches per inch, loosen this thumb screw and slide it up until the plate inside makes contact with the lever. Then you tighten it down. Then your stitches is the same length in reverse as they are in forward. Or if you're changing stitch lengths back and forth, and you always want to come back to 15 stitches per inch, it's set there. I'm going to leave it wide open so you can do whatever you want with it. Okay. So motor and light are plugged in. Let's make sure the light works. It doesn't. I may have to get a new bulb for you. I've got quite a bit of tension on it right now for sewing the leather, so it's pulling the bottom stitches up all the way. You saw on the sheath that I made yesterday what happens if you don't have enough upper tension. The bottom threads are kind of loose and loopy. But I've changed the tension now, and it seems to be working great. Let's sew some leather. Slip your leather under the presser foot. It's kind of hard to get in this direction. It can be done, of course, but if you're lazy like me and you want to just be able to slide it under, just going from the back. And then line it up to where you want to be. Make sure your threads are pulled to the back. And then make sure that you lower the pressure foot onto the fabric using the lever on the back of the machine. When the pressure foot is in the up position, all the tension is released from your tension assembly. So you instantly have all the loopy stuff on the bottom, and it will make a knot under the needle plate that you have to stop and cut out. So lower your pressure foot onto the fabric. Give it a little gas, no reason to go fast. So you can. I just broke my thread, but make sure there's not a burr on the needle plate. Wait, no, I'm just going to go ahead and finish the demo, and it's possible that if there is a burr on the needle plate, I did strike the plate with my needle last time, and it could have put a little sharp burr on there that's cutting the thread. Otherwise, I don't know why this strong thread would have broken. Our thread's already up. Oh yeah, back to the needle hole. I mean the hole in the pressure foot. Thread to the back of the machine. Okay, I'm going to find that last hole that we were in. Remembering to lower my needle, my pressure foot again. Off you go. So you can go a little faster if you want, but no reason to. And that's about it. You want to oil your machine after eight or so hours of sewing, and there are needle holes all along here, and there's places under the face plate that need to be oiled, things underneath that need to be oiled. I'll find you an oiling guide. When you oil the machine, it's a good idea to take out these two screws and remove the needle plate. Needle plate and slide plate are one piece on this machine. But you want to take it off and brush out any dust and lint under the around the feed dogs, because it does gather up and clog up eventually. I'm feeling the slightest tinkly buzz from the metal parts of the machine. That means that my plug is backwards. These old plugs did not have the one wide blade, so you could put them in either way. Yeah, tinkle is gone. So you just reverse the tines on the plug. While you have the needle plate and slide plate off, the two pieces may come apart, but they just fit back together, and you'll be able to figure that out. I'm not going to waste leather by showing you how to sew more, or showing you that it will sew more layers. Like I said, this is 4 layers. I think this machine will do you real good. Small and compact enough that you can slip it under the workbench when you're not using it. And I can probably find a case for you if you want to have a case to put it in. Let's see, does this one have dropping? Yes, this one also has dropping feed. So when you're sewing on regular fabric, if you ever want to do any patching, like patch your jeans or darn a hole in something, or you want to do machine embroidery or if you want to write your name. Anyway, if you want to be able to move the fabric yourself, you can drop the feed dogs, the little teeth, so they never come above the needle plate and touch the fabric to move it. And you release all the pressure on your presser foot here. You just push the little lever in the back and it pops up. Then I was sewing with that all the way up. It seemed to work fine. For lighter fabric, you definitely want to add more pressure. Or if it ever seems like you're not getting a nice straight stitch, add a little pressure here by pressing down the center thing a couple of notches. For regular fabric, you want it about halfway down. For regular fabric, you're going to want to back the tension off. You're going to want to go up to, say, 15 stitches per inch, so you have a nice short little stitch. But again, anytime, just come and talk to me if you have any questions, and we'll go over it. Okay, that's it. I'm going to make this video for you and hopefully send this machine off with you today.